And here we are with the original version of Chain of Memories, which we did. If you're not already familiar, we did a full. Well, not Aidan and I didn't. I'm here with Aidan today.
Hey.
We did not do a full playthrough of this game. Joey and I did a full playthrough of the PlayStation 2 HD PlayStation 3 version, because it can't be simple. We did that over on the main channel. And if you haven't watched that, or if you haven't played Chain of Memories before, you should stop watching this immediately, because this is going to be spoiler open season City Central. Just literally get out before I press start. You should not be here anymore. Have I made myself perfectly clear?
Like put up like a 10-second countdown. Just like no.
I'm for real. You've had your last warning. Okay, there we go. Because the new game Riku is also on the main menu, so like I could. Yes, that's why I was very adamant about everybody got to get out of here. So anyway, we just thought it would be neat to since we played the PS2 version of the game, or PlayStation 3 version, I guess, to come in and have a look at how the original GBA version actually looked from an art design standpoint, music standpoint, gameplay, everything else. Since you haven't seen it, Joey hasn't seen it. But anyway, Aidan, just since people may not be aware, what's your familiarity with Kingdom Hearts?
So before you started doing playthroughs with Joey, I didn't have a clue, but I've watched everything that you've done with Joey, and you and I have had some side conversations that have gone interestingly. So I feel like I have at least my feet in the door. I don't know.
But you're with it up to the point where the playthroughs are, basically.
Right.
The other thing I was going to mention was down here, the Link mode. This was the multiplayer thing that I've mentioned previously. For Game Boy Link, you can load up one of your save files, and if you have two connected, then you can fight each other. But
cool.
We're playing this, for those who are not familiar with this interface, I should mention, we're playing this on a GameCube Game Boy player, which is a piece of hardware that was an attachment for the GameCube that also had like a disc that went with it, and you could play basically any of the original, anything before DS. Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, Game Boy games will all run on this, and you play them with a GameCube controller. Speaking of which, I have two GameCube controllers. One of them is a bit busted, like it mostly still works, but the L shoulder button doesn't work anymore. This is my only fully functional GameCube controller left, and this is going to require a lot of mashing the shoulder buttons, so I'm like praying to God that I don't break it doing this. But anyway, as you can see, these are kind of what the sprites for the characters look like in this game.
Cool.
And we're going to jump into a pretty much finished Sora save file over here.
I feel like his shoes look more ridiculous. They didn't... Oh.
That was another... So you remember how in the PS2 version you break things, you jump on things, stuff fall out of them? No real force feedback on this one, but if you jump on top of these things, they drop drops. If I break that, money falls out of it. But you don't get a little heads-up update like you do in the PS2 version.
Yeah.
But as you can already hear, we have PS2 KH1 Halo Jill Osment, highly compressed voice acting in here, so he actually sounds like a kid instead of like a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
Like a 20-year-old trying to sound like a kid. Oh, I didn't actually mean to do that. Whatever. But anyway, so we're actually, as you can tell, we're already on the final floor of the game in Castle Oblivion. The last floor, and the final boss room is actually just if we hang a right over here. Oops. Over this direction. And here's everybody. Here's the whole crew. Like I said, if you're here, spoiler City Central. Your heart can withstand even Marluxia's power. I just know it. I guess I should let you read for her now, but I guess it's too late now because I'm just not going to talk again. You ready? Whatever's behind that door sounds really powerful. Nope. As long as we remember our promise, there's nothing we can't take on. I'll take care of Namine, I promise. So now you can see kind of this is how the text was handled on this game, where everybody has these little sprites that their lip flaps as long as their dialogue is still going, and they blink, and they've got different facial expressions depending upon
what they're saying,
their mood, and all kinds of other stuff.
She's real cute.
Huh?
She's real cute. She's
That's true, yeah.
You.
But the this is an older save file, obviously. I haven't played this game in ages. We're actually using a this is the only one that's like actually a decent to play the game deck with. And even then, it's probably not a very good deck at all. I flipped through it just now, and it's not a good deck. Before we recorded today, I filled in a couple of extra rooms, and I made some adjustments to this deck to make it actually not the worst ever. So it's slightly more playable, but it's still nobody judge the efficiency of my deck building here, because this is all like stuff that I made probably like 7 years ago.
Oh wow! So it's been a hot minute.
You got to remember, this was the first Kingdom Hearts game that I played because I did not have a PS2 for a long time, and I got this in like probably like 7th grade or something. I don't know. It was a while ago. I got my copy used. I don't have a box for it or anything. I just have the card and an extremely beaten up strategy guide that is falling apart at the seams, just like my 1,000 Year Door strategy guide. Oh yeah, I got Bambi. That's nice. Whatever. So yeah, this is what the game looks like on Game Boy Advance. Whatever. I can get into a fight over here. Well, I thought I was going to. There we go. Thank you.
You got him.
I mean, so it has a very similar transition to what the PS2 version does. And since I hit them beforehand, they're stunned. Just like, it all works very similarly to how the PS2 version did. There you go, now he's dead. So you'll notice that actually all the stuff doesn't get sucked towards you when you finish the fight. You have to go and pick it up as it bounces around, so that's one difference between the two versions. But what I was going to say was that the dodge roll, which you don't activate by pressing a button because the GBA has such limited buttons, you just kind of double tap on the D-pad, or in this case I'm using the stick, because I'm using a GameCube controller. And your iframes on that are so ridiculous that you can really dodge around just about anything, and attacks are much more likely to just miss you in this game. Like, I'm really not even doing much and they're missing me. So I would say that this version of the game is probably a lot easier, even though you don't have quite as many powerful moves as you did in the original version, I mean the PS2 version of the game.
Yeah.
This version is a lot more reasonable. So Aidan, while we're here playing Chain of Memories, I want to talk to you a little bit about what you thought of it while we were originally playing it on the channel. 'Cause we watched quite a bit of it together, not all of it, but like some of it we watched together over Skype or when you were over here for whatever purposes. You enjoyed Kingdom Hearts 1 a lot, did you not?
I did a lot. I was frustrated a lot, both games. I think overall frustration levels, though, this one bothered me a lot more.
Why would you say this game bothered you, Aidan?
Because frickin' Nominee. That's why.
We should before we go anywhere, don't worry, this isn't about to be a hate rant against Nominee. It's
it was originally.
We gotta preface it before people just turn the video off.
Yeah, before we got to the end, before we sat down and were like, all right, let's have a conversation strictly about Nominee. I hated her guts. She was a Kyrie imposter. She didn't even have, like, a good design. She was just lame. She's in a white dress. She's so monotone. I hated her.
You did not hate her design. You hated the fact that she was taking Kyrie's place.
No, like, I mean, yes and no. I did really hate that she was taking Kyrie's place, but because I already hated her, it was like, you know what? They didn't do anything. They put her in a white dress. They made her blonde. She's such an idiot because she's blonde. Oh my gosh,
you've got to calm down. I thought you were with it until, like, I thought you were more okay with her until, like, they just started doing the whole memory shenanigans thing.
No, like, originally, like, just seeing the image, I was like, oh, okay, we get another chick. Kyrie's gonna have a best friend. And then, no. Nope. That's not what happened.
But see, here's the thing. Like, you're like acting all indignant and pissed off about like what appears to be happening at first, which is the whole like she's like evil and replacing Kyrie or whatever. But then it turns out that's kind of like its own plot thing where she's a really interesting character. Yeah,
no, Nominate, like once you get into it, once you get over like that Kyrie is superior.
I guess we should note, for those who don't know, while you only just experienced Kingdom Hearts 1, well, I guess not just, but when we enjoyed your playing it, that was your first exposure to it, really. You took to the Sokai ship pretty hard.
I did, like,
which is atypical for you. You're not like usually the jumping on the shipping boat like really hard type person.
I didn't like, and I'm also not usually like a super conventional ship person. Like when
stop.
And like I usually am not. Main ships are usually not the ones that I care about. Even if I like, the two main characters, like I can't think of an example. Even if I'm like fine with the main one that you're supposed to be into, I'm usually also like, oh, what about these other things? Whereas with this one, I was like, I don't care about anyone else's relationships. Sora and Kyrie.
To be totally fair, it's because there's a smaller number of characters.
Yeah, that
in this game. But I guess also like you didn't like leap on the Sora and Riku shipping train, which is really popular. Like I think more popular than you estimated it to be. I remember you asked at one point, like, is there a big contingency of that? And I was like, bigger than you think there is.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be popular because I like them kind of warring. I like them having to learn to accept, that like just because.
Oh, you're saying that you like Sora and Riku fighting, so you're a big fan of this game. Then.
Not. I mean, not just like, oh yes, I love this competition, but like I really like the dynamic of them having to learn to accept that one of them is semi-dark and one of them is mostly light, and that doesn't make one of them better and it doesn't make one of them inferior, and they can be equal and they can use that to work together and they can have this really cool relationship.
But they don't get there in Kingdom Hearts 1
in front of. I can't
all.
Control.
It's okay. I'm looking at both ways. It doesn't matter.
There's for people. For viewers, there are 2 screens and one of them is like full screen game and one of them is editing stuff. And he keeps switching between which screen he's looking at, and I talk with my hands a lot, so I keep feeling like I'm in his way. So if he dies at any point, and he's just like, I couldn't see, that's my bad. That's
not gonna happen.
I mean, it may, who knows.
This is speedrunning tech. This is why you have 2 monitors, is sometimes you need frame-perfect inputs that you can't get on one screen, but you can get on the other.
This is when you can just blame any deaths on me.
It's fine. I'm not gonna die. I'm like, this Sora is like level 90.
Yeah.
Like, unless I go fight the final boss, I'm gonna be fine. I don't think it's gonna happen.
But I don't know, I really, all of the things just as they were presented to me, I was like, yes, this is good. This is the only way this should ever be in the world. And definitely just let inner.
Tell you what, there's a vocal minority of my fans who's gonna be very happy with your sudden appearance.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm just saying, there's some people who are very heavy Sora Kairi shippers, and that is like, sometimes some people would say that is not the popular opinion, which is like,
whatever.
It's
we'll
talk about that more later on in the series.
My shipping of them though is not even so much like, oh, I want them to get married and make babies and like,
calm down.
That's not where I'm at. Right, I'm not there.
Yeah.
I'm just like, these 2 care so much about each other, and they deserve to just be the best friends that like they were made to be. Like, they love and respect each other so much.
Indeed.
And they just.
It's back to Naminé.
They're so pure. Just. I don't. I still revert occasionally back to just like.
You were like, it was honestly, I wish that I guess I did, you know what? I was wondering where I would put that initial reaction to, the full memory wipe implications.
Yeah.
We recorded that when you were over here one time, the scene where the full-on, like, Sora's like, hey, I now have formally forgotten Kairi, and you were not in a good mood.
We 3 were never apart. Me and Riku and Naminé.
No! We don't even know anything about this girl, and she's already replacing the cute one.
You okay?
No.
You okay, Aidan?
No, I'm not.
What's the problem? What's the problem?
Why?
Why what?
What if they, we literally just had a conversation about Kairi, and now we don't remember. Why? I'm frustrated.
It's my job.
Don't be a jerk. Oh! Me too, Joey.
I'm starting to think this is a bad idea. Something's not right. Someone's missing from the picture. It's real nice.
No!
Real nice when you, Riku, and Naminé can laugh together.
I don't care about that one.
What? That's weird. I can't think of her name. Wow.
Why does Donald remember more than you jerk?
Let's just move on, shall we? Some stuff's going on. Dude, we gotta get up this castle faster. Yeah. Hello, Bastion. We gotta hurry up. We gotta speed up.
Well, that's where Kairi's from, so that's good. Maybe we'll find her there.
Nah, you can do it in whatever order you want, remember?
Oh, dang it. It was nice while it lasted.
What was nice while it lasted?
The thought. Still pretty though.
Yeah, it's still very pretty.
Even if Kairi's not there.
I like it a lot. Aiden's gonna be really upset when she watches this and that moment happens. She's like, no. Because she hasn't finished it, so she doesn't even know that Sora doesn't go home with her. She's already gonna be upset enough. I'm hearing voices. I wonder who it is.
Yeah, initially, she was an imposter, she was fake, she was evil, she was the worst possible character you could ever put into a game. I mean, she was worse going back to Harry Potter. I hated her more than I hate Voldemort.
Really? Wow.
Because, like...
I knew you were upset, but I didn't realize we were at that level of, like,
I wasn't
total
initially.
anger.
I was just like, she could have killed Sora's parents, and just whatever, it would have been equal. Like, fine. I did not like her.
Yeah,
And
Sora's parents are such a non-factor. I guess this is kind of equivalent.
Yeah.
In terms of what we know about his character and what's important.
Yeah. I think Harry's parents are significantly more important to his backstory than Sora.
No, I mean like in terms of like within the character of Sora, like Kyrie's like of a similar like level of importance, perhaps because Harry's parents are like Sora doesn't have parents.
Yeah.
He does, but they no he doesn't.
We've never seen any adults. They live on a separate. They let their kids go to a separate island to play.
They're not helicopter parents is not the term.
No.
At all.
I believe the movement is free range kids.
Free range kids? I've never heard that one before. Nice.
Yeah, they're
That
like,
sounds like a Steven Spielberg film.
I had an English teacher who literally had like a laminated card that she let her son carry that had like both of their signatures and like, I'm a free range kid.
What?
If you see me playing, here's my mom's number. If I'm hurt, then let her know. Otherwise, like, leave me alone.
What does that mean?
Yeah. It was because, like, she wanted him to be able... And I'm sitting here going, like, she was like, yeah, when I was his age, I did all of these things and, like, had a really different experience because I was given freedom to do so because, you know, like, X, Y, and Z about how my generation was raised. And I'm sitting here going, yeah, your generation was raised that way because people didn't get shot on the street for no reason.
Or at least we didn't know about it as much because media didn't report it as much.
Yeah, that
if nothing
too,
else.
I guess.
We should point out they don't have like because in the original game or not the PS2. This is the original game. The PS2 game they have these little trampolines. They're always themed to the area. In this game they aren't themed, but you still have a good effect with them. A little flip like that. Sora grabs onto ledges and pulls himself up with a similar sound effect if I can get it to go. Oops, never mind. That wasn't what I meant to do at all. I just like we're talking about other stuff right now, but like. I really like the art design in this game. The sprite work is like really charming and timeless as far as I'm concerned.
Oh
like,
yeah, me pointing out like the texture earlier wasn't like a dig at it. It's like it's just different. I wasn't expecting it. I really don't think they were like they look like they have like roots growing on the top of them, and maybe it's just the color and the contrast in this one that I didn't notice it as much in the other.
Maybe.
It's also been several months since we've looked at any, like, we've talked about Kingdom Hearts, but we haven't looked at anything Kingdom Hearts related.
Plus, this is also, like, there's a lot less visual information on screen right now, so you're gonna see a lot more of it. That's fine.
Like, I don't think I really noticed all of the fruit in the levels, but, like, there's apples and stuff all over the place here.
Yeah?
But that's fine.
Wait, do you mean the gummy points? Or what are you talking about?
No, like, in this white stuff, did I not see, like, apples and fruit?
I'm not sure. You tell me. You may know more than I do.
Maybe I just imagined it. I don't know. Right.
You probably didn't imagine it. I just don't remember.
But Naminé, once you kind of get some background information on her,
she becomes the most interesting character in this entire game.
Yeah. And
probably the only saving grace of Sora's story because it's so boring otherwise.
Yeah. She really pulled it out. She pulled a fast one, and we've had a lot of lengthy conversations about Naminé's character. And what did you record the one about Naminé and Repliku?
I didn't record anything until this is the first time we recorded anything about it. I did take some notes at the time, so I might be able to.
I'm trying to think of what I said, because if I can get started again. I
have it written down somewhere. I could go pull it out really fast, probably.
Whatever. I can probably start it.
I remember you were talking about like how like they're kind of similar characters, but that
they were both fakes. They were both fakes,
but like Repliku had more going on at a certain level, but he's less useful to the story.
Yeah.
Does that help you? Does that get you back to where you were? Because I don't remember everything you said. Does that get you back to...
maybe. We'll see. I'll roll with it.
Okay, go right ahead.
So I see roses, not apples this time. I don't know. Maybe I did just imagine it.
No, I mean, Mauritius got all of his flower stuff going on. So it's probably flowers. Spoilers.
Whoops.
Marluxia's the main character. Main bad guy, I mean. Yeah, that likes flowers a lot.
Next time on Kingdom Hearts. Figure out, I forgot where I was going with that joke.
It's okay.
Before I even finished it.
It's okay, don't worry about
Love
it.
myself.
Aidan, have you watched any of my Let's Plays? No standard of quality here on the Frustrated Jacob / Research Runs YouTube channel. We made a whole channel that's supposedly about high quality videos, and here we are recording a video for a sub-series where it's all about low quality.
Yeah. So Naminé is kind of a Kairi fake, right? Even though we've established that she does eventually become her, like, own really good, solid character.
If nothing else, she wants to be a Kairi fake.
Yeah, she would love to be Sora's love interest. She would be like that. She aspires to have. Amen. She aspires to have friends. Okay, and then Repliku just wanted to. He wanted to be real. He wanted to fill his own role. He wanted to be his own person. He wanted to be trying to live up to the standards of Riku, whereas Naminé is also trying to live it. Also trying to, like, fulfill this role that's expected of her by Sora, because she's trying to kind of replace Kairi with a whole bunch of other going on. And so you have these two characters that essentially kind of have the same goals, but they take really different paths.
It's kind of similar to the whole Sora and Riku thing in the first game.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
So instead of focusing on them so much, they kind of... I mean, there are definitely focuses on their differences as well. But then you kind of have these other two competing characters where Repliku is just like, you know what? If I can't beat Riku, I'm just going to get rid of him so that there's no competition anymore. Whereas Naminé was like, oh, well, if I can't live up to it, then I just want Sora to be happy. And that also is like a lot of characterization, because she's like, as much as I hate her, I think I love her equally.
You have such a weird relationship with her.
I do. Like, I really could not stand her. And now I'm over here like, she's really good. She's so pure. She just wants to be happy, and she wants everybody else to be happy, and she's like the mom friend where it's like everyone's gonna come, like everyone else's needs she's gonna try and meet before she really worries about her own, but like everyone else should make sure her needs are met.
But that's how she is, like, in terms of her, like, personality type, but that's not what she acts like. That isn't what her actions are.
No, her actions are being controlled by jerk faces.
But, like, again, the whole point is there has to be a level of her that wants that to happen.
Oh,
She's disappointed when Sora chooses to forget about her and go back to his normal life.
Absolutely, but the fact that she lets him do it, because she's got all of this magic, right? She could totally just be like, well, you made the wrong choice, let's try again.
That's a good point. I never had really thought about that before, but I guess you're right.
But she lets him, and I hope they do not leave her in this empty building, because they've killed everyone in it. Like... They've got to go back.
That's apparently how she mentioned, because you remember Joey was talking about, like, where did she come from? She hadn't been inside anybody's heart before, and she was talking about, like, how she had been alone there until the organization goons showed up.
Yeah.
For how long? What does that mean?
And
she
why?
Can't have literally lived here since she was born. And the theory that I threw out was, what if she has amnesia? And that's
maybe her past is like too painful,
didn't
and
aim
she's
that well enough.
Yeah, that was garbage. But not like I could do better, but still. Maybe she has, like, used her power. Like, I don't know if she can use her powers on herself. Spoiler alert, Naminé has powers. Oh no.
What if she used them on herself?
Yeah, what if she used
a little bit of Eden of the East thing going on?
I'm not
that's
familiar,
fine.
but
it's
that's
a bad
cool.
anime. It's good for
actually, I think you've talked about that before.
First couple of episodes were freaking fantastic, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is so good. And then by the end, I was like, what? No, how did you squander this? I was like, okay, to get off topic for a second here. Eden of the East has like the
best.
Have
we ever stayed on topic for an entire video?
Eden of the East has like one of the best like opening bids ever, which is a dude wakes up. A Japanese man wakes up in front of the White House naked with nothing but a handgun and a cell phone.
You've totally told me about this before.
He drops the gun and runs away because wouldn't you? When he calls the only number on the cell phone, he finds out that he has like a couple billion yen in his bank account, and there's a mysterious voice on the other end of the line who can deliver anything to him anywhere in the world at any time. He follows the only address that he has. Like he has he like puts into his GPS like go home or whatever, and he has an apartment in DC that's also full of guns, like heavy artillery type stuff. And then he, along with a Japanese like college student who's like touristing there, kind of through various shenanigans winds up going back home with her and pretending that nothing weird is going on. And so she gets caught up in this ridiculous whatever the heck is going on with this guy, which takes a while for the show to reveal what's going on. And when you do find out what it is, it's really dumb. But man, for one episode, it's like, this is going to be the coolest thing ever. Feels very Born Identity, but doesn't keep it up.
Okay.
Does not keep it up. Do not watch it.
That was one franchise I actually like really got into.
What? Born Identity?
Yeah, and then I go back and I look at those and I'm like, these are not as like flawless as I thought they were when I watched them the first time.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, they're very, the whole like shaky cam thing is one aspect, but like I think that first movie's pretty solid. It makes the shaky cam stuff work for it. The second one is weird, and then the third one is pretty okay, I guess. I don't know. It's been a while since I've watched them too. But that was my impression last time I watched them.
It's been a while since I've watched them. I just remember like when I did go back and watch them, I was just like, eh.
Anyway, sorry. Back to Nominee. I got into each of these because you mentioned her erasing her own memory.
Yeah. So what?
Spoilers. You find out that the guy erased his own memory.
Correct.
I think that's technically like technically you do see him for 5 seconds before he erases his own memory, so that's not really a spoiler. But whatever. Anyway, please continue.
Maybe whatever she's coming from that she like ended up here. She was just like, nope, not messing with that. We'll start new, and that's kind of where she's at. But that begs the question: did she say she's never been in anyone's heart before?
She says I've never existed in anybody's heart, implying that she's never had a relationship with anybody before. At least as far as she knows. Who knows? But this is also Kingdom Hearts shenanigans mumbo jumbo.
Yeah.
And I bet you that line is written a lot differently in this game, because this game is better. In terms of the writing component, at least. Which I talked about a lot during the PS2 playthrough, so don't need to bang on that too much until we're actually going... Because we are going to look at a couple of cutscenes after I fight some more random encounters here.
Cool.
So we'll actually see a little bit of how that's handled in this game. And at least 2 boss fights. Please be excited.
But not too excited, as this is just normal news.
Yes.
That's gonna date this video, but whatever, it's fine.
Yeah, this is just before the D23 trailer 2017. Aidan, obviously, I've been trying to keep her spoiler-free for future events in this series, but I did have to share Tetsuya Nomura's please don't be too excited about this upcoming trailer because it's a normal announcement. Because everybody
probably won't see said trailer, but it's fine.
No, you will not see said trailer. I will not allow for it.
Yeah, that's great.
Unless it's literally just a gameplay montage, which I doubt, because the last trailer, which
but even then, that's like design things, and I love experiencing that stuff organically.
Sure, that's fine. Then
I'm not going to seek it out on my own. If you're like, hey, please watch this thing, and it turns out that that's what it is, I wouldn't be like mad or anything. But I'm not gonna look for it.
Oh, I mean, like you're not gonna be here the day that I'm gonna be. Well, you're not going to be here to film the day that it comes out anyway. I'm going to be working on other stuff.
Okay.
And by now, we're well past that trailer coming out, and everybody knows that I have or haven't made an analysis video about it. Probably not, because I've got other videos I need to make. Anyway.
Like this one!
Look at this is such a great use of our time. Woo! I wanted to play a Kingdom Hearts game with you, because we've watched both of these now and hadn't actually sat together and like played one yet. So I really wanted to sit down and do that with you. Maybe if Joey ever gets super sick of Kingdom Hearts and is like, no, I want to play Sonic, then you and me can play this together.
I would love to see you guys play Sonic. Like, as like knowing both of you, but then also just like, what would I like to see on this channel? I feel like that would be some monumental stuff right there.
I wonder if people are just like sick of it though after Chain of Memories, where we constantly played the music and talked about it. If people would just like stop talking about Sonic.
But I feel like if you played Sonic, not only would you talk about things other than Sonic, which would also be really cool, you would have so many jokes.
Sonic Blade is not as good as it is in the PS2 version. You only fight through people once. You remember in that version you like do it a billion times. Another example of something that the PS2 version does that's cool and different. I don't want to sound like I'm just constantly ragging on the PS2 version, because it has tons of cool stuff in it. And we played it on YouTube because I know that's the version people would prefer to watch.
Yeah.
Doesn't change the fact that the script in this game is superior. I mean, I'm happy that I didn't...
You can't have everything.
I'm happy I didn't play this version on the channel, because I probably would have broken my only good GameCube controller. I didn't want to do that.
Right.
Oh, right. I remember. We're in Almighty Darkness or whatever, where all the attack cards' values are increased on the enemies. That's why all the numbers are highlighted, and that's why I'm having such a hard time performing card breaks. I forgot where I was for a minute, that I'd made a room like this when I was coming through here. Because I think I mentioned this, but like when I loaded up this save file earlier today before we did this, this floor was actually not built out. It's probably because because whoever was last playing this file been running around the castle, and every time you leave the floors regenerate. So I had to actually rebuild this floor so that I could get to the back, so we could see the crew hanging out back there and theoretically fight Marluxia. I know I'm walking away from that right now, but that's just because I wanted to do some random chit chat and talk about the combat, the art design a little bit. You'll also notice that when you talk to people, I didn't mention this before, there's a little question mark above them. That's how it looked in Kingdom Hearts 1 when there were things you could interact with. In the future games, it's always going to be the triangle prompt. So you remember in Chain of Memories, there's a big triangle prompt on them in the hallway. Here it's the Kingdom Hearts 1 style.
It has the nice, like, big green, like, overlappy things that look really rad.
Yeah, and here, all the stuff that wasn't, like, didn't have to be voice acted, I'm pretty sure that it's, like, 1-to-1, and also there's some overlap. The layers on Sora's foot and Donald's hand were freaking out there as he was animating, I guess. He's not animating, it's just doing it anyway, I guess. Let's put Marluxia in his place and get our memories back. Wah. So yeah, so this is what, okay, nope, stop that. Just gonna save really fast. So yeah, so this is, and you'll notice, don't have to worry about PS2 load times anymore. Like, watch us go inside of here. There we go. Which, by the way, you can't walk up on the plot. There's loading, up, we're in. Wow, already back out.
Wow.
Crazy. So yeah, here's the full collection of floors in the menu in this game and whatnot. Everybody knows all this stuff. We've all seen it before. If you haven't, don't know why you're watching this video, but whatever.
Again, get out while you can, because there's no telling what else we will say.
I mean, there's not much else to say at this point. I think we've blown the lid off of most of it, except for the Riku stuff. But whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, didn't mean to do that. Whatever. But anyway, here's Traverse Town.
Rad.
And here's how they handle the music for this area. Oh, item, crappy potion, whatever. So obviously, since this is Game Boy Advance, they had to, do the best they could with the music and stuff. But they had all the original compositions in the PS2 to work from for the most part, so they have all the same melody lines and stuff, just not I really, really like how they made Traverse Town look in this. They really captured kind of the haphazard nature of the walling and stuff like that. This is what it looks like when you make rooms, by the way. You whack the door with your keyblade, and since there's not enough buttons for it to be a button press, you have to hit it with your keyblade, and then it opens up like that, very similar to the PS2 version. But the loading time is infinitely faster. Have I mentioned that yet?
It's nice, though.
Yeah. And when the cards fly out, they kind of have that weird, kind of effect around them. I'm not sure what that's called. Some kind of special GBA, thing that they got it to do to make the graphics look nice. This is going to be a curb stomp. Yeah.
But back to the nominee rant, so I didn't really finish that.
Sure, why not?
I forgot where I was going.
We were talking
cool.
about the thing I remember you talking about with Riku Replica and Naminé was you were saying that the that Riku Replica was really a more useful character. Well, it was a less useful character because he's dead and gone and that's it, and he really only existed to inform one brief chapter of Riku's story. Yeah. But that he had, I'm sorry that I'm taking the words for you here, but
no, go for it because I don't remember.
Yeah. And hopefully this will get you back to where you were, because you're making a good point, and we didn't finish that conversation at the time, so maybe you'll remember what we were talking about. But and you were saying that it's unfortunate then because he has so much going on and goes through kind of like two full character arcs effectively across both campaigns, but he really doesn't serve much because in Sora's storyline he exists solely for misdirection. Yes. He really doesn't do anything beyond that. And then in Riku's storyline, while he does have some utility, he's not really nearly as impactful to Sora's character and examination of his character, nor is he as interesting as Naminé. And yet Naminé, I think your words were she's really, when you break her down, just I'm pretty and sad, please love me.
Yes. That sounds like something I would say. Yeah, I mean, but you kind of have to love her.
I didn't say you didn't. But you feel like...
But if you examine it closely, and you're oh, well, how did she end up here? Now that she's here, the fact that she's being presented with this, hey, your ideal, like, boy, you can make yourself his ideal as well. Have fun.
Yeah.
And then from there, chooses to let him go. As we said, she could have just, until he complied, said, nope.
Just reset the scene over and
Yeah,
over again.
yeah.
She could have just erased his memory and started from scratch, or she could have, if she wanted to trick herself into thinking she was being nice, she could have just redone that one scene over and over and over again. That's kind of a horror story type scenario.
Yeah.
That's very Twilight Zone-y. But I guess what I mean is that, like, since she feels like she's such an interesting character, there probably could have been more done with her, but like whatever they could have done with her got sacrificed to the altar of mystery. Because like they couldn't.
I hate that. Like.
Because they couldn't blow like, oh, what's going on with Naminé until the very end of the game, and so the actual scenes of interaction with, because like if you think about it, the scenes where they actually get to interact are. He goes out into the hallway and talks to her for 5 seconds, and then Larxene shows up and says mean things.
Yeah.
Then there's the big exposition scene afterwards. Then they leave, she gets kidnapped, and they don't see her again until right before the final boss. They talk with her there, and they talk with her after the final boss. And that's the only real screen time they have together.
And then all of the other stuff is just, that's the, oh, I'm so sad. All these evil men have me. But I look really cute as I sit here and draw pictures of, like, me and my boyfriend. Like,
Yeah.
you
Which
know?
you don't get I don't think you get, because you don't get the pictures really in the GBA version, so that is one thing that's nice about the PS2 version, so you get to see those. And she has a good voice actress, so,
Oh yeah, I
that's all
mean,
good
like,
to go.
once you stop hating her for being a fake Kyrie, she really isn't all that bad. She's a lot. There's a lot of things that they could have done with her that they didn't do that I would have liked to have seen, but I am also okay with what I got. Once I chilled out and was like, ugh, stupid blonde in here, like messing up things for my OTP. Which I don't even remember what that stands for, but I know that's the term I'm supposed to use.
Yeah, you gotta understand, like, we were talking about, like, shipping and stuff earlier, and she was like, oh, shipping this, shipping that. Like, I made a point up front that you're not that type of person, which is, like, you were talking about the very rare instances where you get into anything like that. It happens to be weird off-brand stuff, but that's not you at all.
No. This is not my normal stuff here.